tuning into the NBA here on 2K Sports. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's going to be the Dallas Mavericks up against the Houston Rockets. And now things about to get going. Let's turn to Kevin, Clark, and Steve, who've got the call in Houston.
And there's a shot earlier of the Rockets preparing for action. Hello, everyone. Get ready for NBA action live on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by my partners, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. We've got a chance now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. First for the Mavericks, Calderon is out there with Ellis, and it's Samuel Dalembert manning the middle at the center position. Then there's Marion, and it's Nowitzki in at the 4 slot. And then for Houston, manning the backcourt, Jeremy Lin along with James Harden. And it's center, the most dominant physical presence in the NBA, the elite defensive big man, Dwight Howard. Then there's Chandler Parsons, and it's Ashik in at the power forward. And Parsons kicks to Lin. Howard. Harden outside, beyond the arc. And that comes off the assist by Dwight Howard. Harden's got the first 3 points tonight for the Rockets.
You look at Harden's career, he was a gifted scorer at Arizona State, but with a slow start in his rookie season, and playing with 2 of the best players in the league in Oklahoma City, people seem to forget that he's always been a player who can light it up.
It's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. And the Rockets with possession here. It's a 3-point game. And the foul called on Sean Marion. That's his first foul. And James Harden, the first ever draft pick by the Oklahoma City Thunder after the move from Seattle, certainly. To see him go so soon in his NBA career as he was reaching stardom had to be tough for fans. And we know, Clark, certainly for his teammates.
I agree wholeheartedly there, Kevin. And think of all the fans who wore fake beards on their faces, even buildings in OKC with beards adorning them. So Harden wasn't just a great player. His image was almost a mascot for the team as well.
Well, look at Steve, Clark. He's got the fake Harden beard on right now next to us. I mean, geez.
Beard the beard.
Nice fast break from start to finish, guys.
Especially on the backhand. I mean, he polished it off perfectly.
1:49 left in the first quarter. Now Calderon. Stolen by Harden. And here we go. Fast break. Lynn's got it. The fast break ends at the rim with the jam.
You know, as soon as that steal was made, it was over. That was going to be a bucket the whole way.
That's exactly how a turnover costs you. Well, I'll tell you what, that Southwest Division can be really tough. Seems like there are always at least 2 title contenders in the division and 3 to 4 teams that are fighting for a playoff spot. The Rockets felt the toughness as they went just 6-10 against the rest of the Southwest.
6 to shoot. Here's Ellis. Here's Dalembert.
Yeah, he always gives the fans a temporary souvenir, it seems like, blocking 2 or 3 shots into the 10th row. Of course, you got to give the ball back, so very temporary souvenir.
They're going to have to change that because in baseball, when they knock those foul balls, they don't go you can keep them. That's right. Same with the NFL. If the ball happens to get by the net, you can keep the ball.
That, right. Well, we need to change that in basketball.
I agree.
And you know what? He is also relentless on the boards. He works as hard on his rebounding as anybody you're going to see.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Brandon Wright's checked in for Nowitzki. Carter comes in for Sean Marion. And Devin Harris is subbed in for Jose Calderon. Rockets, Clark, against the Southwest, 6-10, as you said. And those losses were big as far as playoff seeding was concerned. Steve, very hard playing in that division.
Well, it toughens you up in a hurry, that's for sure. You know, the Rockets still have yet to win the division title since it first came about in 2004. They've been in the hunt and they've made the playoffs, but they've also been going against some dominant franchises in San Antonio and Dallas.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. And it's out of bounds to the Rockets as Houston retains possession. Jay Crowder's checked in for Dalembert. On the wing, Harden. Back to Smith. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Smith's got his first bucket of the night.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Now here is Harris, defended by Beverly. Harris dishes to Crowder. Ellis, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Ellis has got his second bucket tonight.
The bounce pass was the key to the play.
Here's Monty Eunice. Back to Smith. Down it goes, jamming that one home. Well, now they're just going to town on it.
Yeah, you think these defenders would have done a little more to put a stop to that stuff, Kevin, but so far, no go.
Well, a phenomenal aerial assault there, fellas.
Here's Ellis. No luck. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Rockets on top. They lead by 6. All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for the Rockets.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
Yeah, and the fact that they're playing well, close to the hoop, finding points in the paint, I mean, they've got it all going tonight.
It was a rough year for the Mavs and their fans. The first time since 2012 the Mavericks found themselves out of the playoffs. So big reason why was they couldn't get the wins they needed on the road.
And a chance here to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, the Mavericks have been a terrific franchise. Since the turn of the century, 11 straight 50-win seasons, third longest streak in NBA history, culminating all with that NBA championship in 2011. But as much success as this team has enjoyed, it's also shown a restless eye, unusually willing to part with great players, whether Steve Nash or Tyson Chandler. And with the Mavs of late unable to attract the top free agents with their cap space, some fans might be left wondering if perhaps they should have danced with the ones who brought them. Guys?
Interesting, Doris. Thanks. And that basket was going to count. Goaltending, the official call. And back to the Mavs, 17-24 record on the road. You know, Steve, their struggles as the visiting team, you know, one of the reasons why they were only a 500 team on the season at 41-41.
And even though going 500 isn't a bad year for most, it is when you're the Dallas Mavericks and you're used to playing in the postseason. This was the first time in a long time, in forever, that the Mavs didn't end up in the playoffs.
Here's Harris. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And that one's good.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Rockets leading by 4. The feed to Beverly. Back to Smith. Knocks it loose. Beverly, the pass to Harden. Buries the long-range jumper. Harden's got 11.
Well, James Harden, clearly one of the most potent offensive threats in the game. Can do it all. Pass, shoot with range, get to the rim. He led the league in free throw attempts last season with over 10 a game.
Harris kicks to Carter. And it's Carter again missing.
Poor shooting from him this quarter. His shooting percentage nowhere near where he'd like it to be. Tried to get a little too fancy with that one.
Unless the alley-oop is going to be uncontested on both ends of the play, you're better off avoiding it.
You know, nobody responds to end-of-game pressure like this guy. That's what comes to mind immediately for me. He's hit some monumental shots in his career. Some guys just embrace the moment at the end of the game. That's him.
And, you know, against him, Steve, as an opponent, you need to make sure you're making smart, crisp passes because he's so good at picking off the sloppy, loose ones.
And Clark, you mentioned Harden, great at drawing fouls. He stays low. He holds the ball low. And when he brings it up, if the defender reaches, he just guides his arms up under theirs to draw the contact. It's a very clever move.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of players over the years do it. Kevin Durant has done it. Tim Duncan before that. Going way back, Sam Perkins used to make that move. It's really a tricky play, and it's tough to guard, but when you perfect it offensively, it's really a weapon.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Wright. Marion comes in for Vince Carter. And it's Calderon in for Monte Ellis.
Hey, you really can't say the Mavericks were a bad team last year. They were just a little below par compared to what we've been accustomed to. They just were not nearly as deadly offensively, and that's always a recipe for struggles in the West.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Brandon Wright's checked in for Jay Crowder, and it's Carter in for Devin Harris. Nowitzki, that's in there. Carter with the assist. Carter's got 3 assists now in this one.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
Nowitzki guarded by Harden. He kicks to Carter. Back to Calderon. Teardrop shot. And Ashik sends it back. Wow. And so that brings the first half to a close. Rockets.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And it's been a great game out in Houston. Thanks for joining us.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
Yeah, he played a very mature first half offensively, just finding gaps and making good decisions, getting into the defense and knocking down shots.
Well, the way he played that first half, that's exactly what we're talking about when we say offensive efficiency.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Gentlemen, for Jeremy Lin, 2 seasons ago, it was one of the most abrupt ascents into stardom the league has ever seen. For Lin, though, it wasn't all roses. He said, quote, "I saw how fame changed how people looked at me, and I hated it. I went into a shell. But over time, I was able to get a better perspective." He said, quote, "I won't let any of my friends become a fan. They can support me, but they can't treat me differently than they would treat someone else. And guys, now on a new team, Lin might just be happier now that the hoopla has settled a bit."
Well, Doris, that fan passion can cut both ways. Sometimes you have to take the good with the bad. 4 on the clock. Here's Ellis. Ellis can't get that one to fall either.
More often than not today, those shots have not dropped for him.
You know, the Rockets turned a lot of heads last season, guys, as they got back into the playoffs after missing out the year before. A big part of that was how they played at home. They were very tough to beat in Houston.
Dallas calls timeout. And the Rockets, as you said, Clark, strong at home. And that can be seen in that record of 29-12. Just the kind of home record, Steve, you need to get into the playoffs.
And it was the way the Rockets played that was so impressive, Kevin. They attack the rim, and then they kick out and bomb a ton of threes. And I think that's the kind of attack, the kind of style that can really bring a friendly crowd and bring them to their feet. And I thought the Houston fans got more and more animated as the season went on.
Good key! Good key!
Here's Marion. A putback in the jam by Dirk Nowitzki.
All the points these defenders are allowing inside is inexcusable. It's 5 baskets in a row, and they've all been practically lay-ins.
Yeah, they've got to harden and toughen up down there, guys. Well, last season was Dirk Nowitzki's 15th in the NBA and maybe his toughest. He underwent a knee scope right before the start of the season, missed about 2 months of action, and the Mavericks ended up missing the playoffs. You know, who says the big guy doesn't like to attack the basket? I mean, could have fooled me on that one.
Yeah, nice change of pace for him to power one home.
Yeah, it's not usually his role, but he takes advantage of the situation there.
56 seconds left in the third. Lin against Calderon. Here's Ellis. That falls. Nice feed this time from Jose Calderon. 8 points for Monte Ellis. Speaking of Nowitzki, he expressed some concern about the direction of the Mavericks himself last year.
Yeah, after that championship season, they let go of some of their good players, especially Tyson Chandler. But they were trying to free up cap space and lure a top free agent. They were left holding the bag, basically. But Nowitzki wants to retire a Mav, and hopefully they can provide a contender for him.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. For Houston, they have converted 1 of 2 free throws so far today.
Well, this is a club that shot 75% as a team from the free throw line last season.
Harden hits them both. Mavericks trailed by 4.
Should probably use a little clock here.
Yep, make this the very last possession.
And here's Calderon. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
That's Dwight Howard with the finish.
I don't know that this is the time for that kind of flair. In a close game, the important thing is the 2 points, not the dramatic.
Oh, come on, Clark. He had to go for it, didn't he?
I'm with you, Kevin. You can't fault him for that. Let him go. Who cares?
And we've watched 3 so far in this one. All right, we welcome you back to what's been a hard-fought battle. Fourth quarter should be good. And, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Rockets?
You know, one of the big stories has been the 3-ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
And they're also really getting out in transition and scoring some hoops in the fast break tonight.
So it's the Mavericks now, trailing by 4. Calderon kicks to Ellis. They double team Ellis. Back to Calderon. He feeds it to Ellis. Dwight Howard grabs the board.
You've got to like what they've been doing down there in the low post, Clark.
I do. I love it. Their rebounding has been outstanding. So important in a tight game.
Ellis fires. That falls. Nice speed this time from Jose Calderon. Calderon's got assist number 5 here tonight. Back to Harden. Throws it up high. Oh, trying for it. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Rockets will retain possession. Houston making a switch. Beverly's checked in. Howard with it. Now guarded by Gallenberg. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. 2 shots. First one falls for him. That one misses. 60 seconds off the clock here in the 4th. The drive by Ellis. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That's on Dwight Howard.
Nice work. Get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, it's obvious. The defense not going to allow many easy layups. They're going to make you earn it from the line.
And he makes both free throws.
He's just got such a smooth stroke, and it never changes, even in this kind of high-pressure situation.
There's 1:54 left in the 4th quarter. And he banks in the layup. And the Rockets lead by 3.
This has really become an intense ballgame ever since halftime.
Boy, the effort from both teams here, Steve, is terrific.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Yes, thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Rick Carlisle was saying to the team. He loved the work they were doing on the interior, saying, listen, they've got no answer for us inside, and we're not going to let them off the hook now. Keep pounding it down low.
Marion dishes to Nowitzki. It's Ellis on the wing. Dallas moving it around. Rocket 6 to tie it up. The Rockets pull it in. And it's Houston on the break. It's stolen by Calderon. 4-on-3 break. He dishes it to Nowitzki. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. First free throw is good, and that brings them within 2 here. Jeremy Lin, he's checked in for Houston. Both shots good from the stripe. Houston's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. And then Usher with the dunk. Stupendous rush to the rim and a mighty slam on the end of it.
But through the teeth of some pretty soft D, I can't help but say that.
Well, let's see how that impacts things here, because those kinds of plays sometimes can be game changers on both sides.
Gets it to go.
Nowitzki, what an offensive force he can be.
Harden draws the double. Inside. It's stolen by Calderon. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. And Asha kicks to Harden.
A crucial basket.
They needed it, and he gave it to him.
.32 seconds left to play in the final quarter.
Still a chance, but they've got to score here.
Yeah, every possession is necessary.
Ellis, the pass to Marion. Dishes to Calderon. 6 on the shot clock. Dallas needs to get off a shot. And here's Ellis for 3. Misses the tray. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty.
Smart foul there. You got to try to extend the game.
Yeah, it's still close, but they're fighting that clock as much as the score right now.
We're in the final quarter of play here, 3 minutes in, and now they decide to foul intentionally. He hits the first one, and that will put them up by 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Huge free throws there, and that could be the difference. It will force, more than likely, a desperation three-point attempt.
To tie it up. Count it! A tremendous 3 to tie it up. Timeout called the Rockets. Marion with the steal. Regulation is ended and we're heading to overtime. And we'll be back right after this. Well, if you're just joining us, the intensity has really heated up in this one. As we watch this one go now to overtime. So the Rockets win the tip. And so they have the first opportunity on offense right here as we begin overtime. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. Calderon dishes to Marion. Here's Wright. Marion against Harden. And it's blocked by Harden. Right side Lynn. And Howard, here we go.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yeah, you got that right, Kevin. He's such a reliable finisher.
And there's a whistle. That goes on Jeremy Lin. That's his first foul. Ellis kicks to right. Now the dish to Calderon. Marion outside. Just 5 to shoot. Back to Calderon to take the lead. No up. The Rockets go the other way with it. Harrison's attacking. Outside, Lynn. Knocks down the trifecta.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
Ellis with it. And it's Harden picking him up. Ellis kicks to Nowitzki. Kicks it out to Ellis. Dallas again missing.
An easy look there, but, you know, he misses those once in a while.
Clark, no room for error.
Kevin, got to be perfect from here on out. You're exactly right.
Back to Calderon. On the wing, Ellis. Wide open. Right. It's rebounded by Parsons. And so they choose to intentionally foul. Houston's gone 4-6 from outside the arc tonight. And he commits the intentional foul. So the first one drops, and that increases their lead to 6. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 7-point game.
Good work at the line to stretch that lead out a little bit.
And this game is finally getting away from him.
Yep, it has gotten gotten away. There's not really anything they can do now. I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
He drops the first one, and that increases their lead to 6. Samuel Dallenberg is checked in for Dallas. Dallas calls timeout. They're trailing by 7. There's 21 seconds left in overtime. Guys, what's your take?
Well, they can game plan all they want, but there's not enough time left for them to come back and win this game.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure exactly what they think they're going to pull off here.
And Dallas going with a whole new group out there. Here is Lynn. Howard drives in, and Howard down the jam.
Time to turn out the lights on this game.
I think they deserve a ton of credit for the way they played here today. Truly a professional display.
Overtime in full swing here at 2 minutes off the clock. Carter guarded by Harden. Back to Carter. The tray. So Houston wins it. An impressive victory in overtime after an exciting end in regulation.
You know what? In a long game, fatigue can sometimes affect it.